What's up internet? My name is Nikki and today I'll be doing a book versus movie review on A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. But before I get into that, I want to talk about what a book versus movie review / comparison really is. So obviously it is when I either read or see a movie and I compare it to either the book or the movie itself. And I like kind of doing these stuff because if I read a book, I kind of want to see how they translate it into a movie because, well, you're kind of transferring like from either roughly 600 to maybe 200 pages into like a 2-hour long film. And I kind of like how they have to impact everything and what they had to take out or what they put in to make it flow a little better, considering they can't put everything into the movie. And so from a movie to a book, I usually just like picking up the book because I want to know more about the world or more about the characters. So this is kind of more comparison than it is a review, but let's just call it a review. So before I get into the movie / comparison of the movie with the book, I will talk about what the book is about. A Monster Calls is about a young boy named Connor who's currently dealing with his mother's illness, which I'm going to go with it's cancer because it doesn't really talk about what's going on, but they talk about chemo and stuff like that, and just how he's dealing with his mother's illness and like her not getting better and then him hoping that she will be okay, but then deep down you kind of already know what the mother's fate is, but it just revolves around Connor and how he deals with it. On top of that, Connor ends up meeting a monster who's gonna tell him 3 stories, and by the end of the 3rd story he has to tell the monster a story himself, otherwise the monster is gonna eat him up. And the thing I like about this is that Connor's not afraid of the monster because he has other things he's scared of. Because there's a recurring nightmare, and the monster tells him that that is the story he has to tell him, or otherwise he will eat him. If you're looking for a quick read, I suggest this. It's like one of those quick, fast reads that you could have. You could just put it in your bag and go, and the whole mother-son dynamic in it is really sweet and it's really, really sad. So it's kind of like a tearjerker if you're moved by that kind of stuff. So now moving into the movie. I did not go into this movie just because of the book. I ended up going into this movie because I found out Sigourney Weaver was gonna be in it and I love her, and so if any movie she's in, I'm like, yes, I'm gonna watch it. Next it has Felicity Jones, who most people now know of her because of Rogue One, and she played an excellent mother in this. I really did like it, just the way she pulled at the heartstrings. And of course Liam Neeson, who does the voice of the monster. That was exciting. I just like his voice in general, and it was really cool hearing him be like this gruffly like monster kind of thing. So this movie got released in January of this year, and it was only in selected theaters, and none of those selected theaters were in my area, so I had to wait a little bit to see it, but I finally did, and it was really, really good. I really enjoyed the movie. It was really a little more slower than I was expecting it to be, but it did have really good pace to it, where you get to meet Connor and you get to see what his situation is like and how the family dynamic goes, and we get introduced to new stuff that wasn't in the book, which I kind of like just because we get to know a little bit more of Connor and also his mother, because we don't get to know much about his mom in the book. We just know she's ill and she loves Connor to death. One of my favorite things of how they translated the book into the movie was how they did the story sequences, because it kind of looked like how they did the story sequence for Harry Potter, because it was like in watercolor paint and it was just really beautiful and I loved it. It was so vividly, it was just really good to watch. Other thing that I really enjoyed was Louis McDougall. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but anyways, he's the kid who plays Connor, and he was amazing. I teared up the ending of this whole movie. It was just really good, and just the way he plays the kid, it's just, yeah, bravo kid, bravo. You made me cry in the end. 2 things that they kind of changed from the book to the movie that was kind of like a big thing for me. I don't know if it's gonna be a big thing for you, but anyways, the first thing is the nightmare sequence in the book. So in the book, when we first meet the monster, Connor tells the monster that he's not scared of the monster because he's met a scarier and bigger monster than him, and that is in his nightmare, where he is on a cliff and the monster is climbing that cliff to come and get him. I was kind of wanting to see what this monster looks like, because come on, what's scarier than a talking, walking tree thing that is like as big as a house. So yeah. So how they translated it into the movie is that they made it kind of like an earthquake sequence where the ground opens up and there's a cliff and it's kind of like sucking him into the ground sort of deal. I don't know, I think it worked well with the movie, but at the same time I was kind of disappointed because I kind of wanted to see the scarier monster than the talking tree. The second big thing that they kind of changed is they kind of continued after how the book ended, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, just because we get to know a little bit more of Connor's mother and stuff like that, and I can't really talk about it because it's kind of like a big spoiler, but they just continued off from where the book is. I personally I'm still kind of conflicted because I don't know how I feel about it, but then again I'm like, I think they could have just left it how the book ended because it would have worked perfectly, but I don't know. So yeah, that's kind of like my thoughts of how I saw it and which one comes on top, the book or the movie. I kind of have to go with the movie on this one just because I really liked how they translated into it. It was faithful to the book. Obviously there's two things that I wasn't really sure how I felt about that, but I think I could get over the nightmare sequence, but I did really wanted to see that other monster. But hey, it kind of fit how they did it. The ending is still getting me because I personally don't think they needed the extended ending to it. They could have just left it how it was, but yeah, that's the only thing I had with it. Don't get me wrong, the book is very good if you want something to read that's really lighthearted and sweet and just, yeah. I say go for it, go read the book. So tell me, did you read the book? Did you watch the movie? Which one did you do first? Which one did you like better? So and so. Tell me, I would like to know because I like opinions. I like to know what other people think and me thinking about, I didn't think about that. So yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. If not, that's cool. I either try to upload Monday, Wednesdays, or Fridays. So yeah, I'll catch you later. Whoop.